Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue the quick mission showcases. Just a little aside, I am recording this on Christmas Day, so for those who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. For those who celebrate Hanukkah, Merry Hanukkah. For those who celebrate Kwanzaa, Merry Kwanzaa. For those who celebrate something else, Merry something else. And for those who don't celebrate anything at all, have a Merry weekend, I guess. In any case, today's showcase is going to be the Israeli Aircraft Industries Kfir. So we are going to set that up. Let's see, do we have Israeli theater? Persian Gulf, Taiwan. We got Egypt. We got Iraq. I guess Iraq's kind of the closest we have, isn't it? So we'll sub that in. Troops withdrawing from Kuwait. Yeah. We don't have like Lebanon or Iran. We got the Persian Gulf. Ships in the Gulf. Specifically, the mission I'm looking for is I don't think it's gonna be in here. Is that only Ukraine and Kuril Islands? Group of planes at an airstrip. Yeah, I guess. Wow, that's... Alright, that's unfortunate. We'll just do Iraq then to get that nice sandy climate. Hold on. Just out of curiosity, in case. Alright, so they don't have like a Syrian theater or everything. I guess they do have predefined missions for them all. Okay. I was just curious if maybe they had a few extra maps that they just didn't have predefined missions for. So, yeah, we could do Egypt too. We'll do Iraq. Just because then they'll be using ex-Soviet equipment, or Soviet equipment as the case may be. Let's see. So our opponent at this time would probably be MiG-23 floggers and MiG-21s, because this was introduced, if we're taking from the early service life, yeah, mid-70s. So, 4th gen stuff was just about coming online then. So what we can do is 4 floggers and maybe 4 MiG-21s. That seems fair-ish. We'll give them fish-fed seas. Okay, so enemy forces are going to be Syrian? If that... I think that's in the database. Probably passed it already, but... Oh, there it is. Okay. And friendly forces are going to be Israeli. So we are going to be IAI Kfir. We'll start at 20,000 feet. We'll say neutral, 10 miles out. Custom weapons load. Our target is going to be an airfield, lightly defended by SAMs and AAA. So this should be well balanced enough. Really, the tough thing here is going to be taking, splitting our load between air to air and air to ground. Okay, so we have a centerline jammer. Given Israeli experience, that seems fair. Oh, this might be air superiority. In which case... let's see. It says fighter bomber, but there's not a lot of like we certainly have the... let's see here. Nope. Nope. One thing we will do is we're going to Let's see, what do we got in the French market here? The Mika's active radar, the Super 530. So we'll take 2 of those. They're gonna be shit because this game, if it's not American, this game nerfs it to hell. But likewise, we'll fly with the Magic 2 missile. I do not know if it's got integrated IR. What do we got for fuel? 6L. Oh, yeah, that's not a lot. So we'll definitely take the centerline station. Hell, I would. It'll hurt us during maneuvering, but I think I'm going to up that to a 250-gallon tank. We're going to go back here, too, because we just won't be able to have the ordnance to take it out. So instead, our target is going to be a radar station, and our goal is to knock it out. So that way we can enable further attacks in Syria that they won't be able to track or prepare for. And this is going to be their combat control for that. So with that in mind, I do want a small amount of air-to-surface ordnance. Oh, we can't take any. Ooh, this might be Ooh, this could be a choice between air-to-ground and air-to-air ordnance, which I was hoping, and fuel, which I was hoping to not have to make. But in any case, let's put these back. Can we really not fit anything? Nope, I can't even take a 500-pound bomb. All right. So do I want that jamming? Can we put a fuel tank there? We can't. So this is basically locked as a jammer, it seems like. So I may as well just ignore that. So really, we're looking at, can we take anything at all? No. Okay. Oh. Nope. We can't do anything there. All right. I guess we're. What about 3 packs? Just so we have 2 of those. Take a 1 pack, but no, we'll take 2 of those 3 packs. I think we'll live with the 150 gallon. This kind of puts us at a disadvantage, but really, I suppose even in the mid-70s, IR missiles were still kind of the bread and butter of air combat at that point. I mean, you look at, well, IR missiles and guns, so I suppose, and like I said, let's be real here, the nerfing of anything that's not American in this game, those semi-active missiles would be hard pressed to hit. So this is what we've got. It's 5 on 8, but I think we'll come out on top. We might have to jettison the fuel tank early to get some maneuvering, but otherwise I'm worried we'll burn through fuel too quickly. So, I guess with that, let's begin. Alright. Radar on. We do not have infrared. We'll have our I guess the good question is, are these all aspect or rear aspect? I think we're just going to assume rear aspect. So here we go. Let's look at the map. Do we have a home base? Okay, we do. We have Kuwait. That'll be our Israel for this session. All right, they have SAMs tracking us. I guess these guys will tell me if they're all aspect or not, too. Oh, I guess they're all aspect, because they are firing. Alright. But we are going to follow this guy in. Oh. And we are almost out of external fuel already, with all that afterburning, so taking the heavier tank was a good choice. And that's about to, oh, how do you get it above me? I guess I never climbed as high as I thought I did. There we go. Didn't take much chaff with our jammers working like they are. Come on. I know we're heavily loaded, but if we can just get an angle on him. There we go. Good hit, good hit. Alright. Now let's flip this bird around. Push over, push over. There we go. For pursuit. Let's take the closest one. Alright. So that fuel tank should be dropping off any second now. And that'll lighten our load a little bit. There we go. Alright, so they're climbing to infinity, but that's good for us because that'll set up a nice rear aspect shot. Oh, if we don't overshoot. Alright, now we got a good rear aspect shot, and I think we are going to take it. And our missile went fucking nowhere. Alright. Alright, bring us up, bring us up. Alright, we got another MiG-23 down. And let's start putting those twin cannons to use. And he's out of here. Alright. Nearest friendly, was it Alt-A? Or Control Z. Nearest bandit, 12 o'clock high. Alright. What we got? That must be you. Alright. What else we got? It might be the last one left. So let's... Alright, he's on my tail now. So we are going to loop-de-loop all over again. There we go. He is up there. Okay, so there might be one. Nope, he's not shooting at me. But man, this guy got high. Jesus, how high is this guy? We're climbing at... I've got to pull down. And actually, that might not even... Nope, there we go. I think he's above his altitude limit. Let's see. He's got to be at least 5,000 feet on me, if not 10. Let's see. Specifications. 57,000 feet. Alright, so he can get up pretty high. It's not that ridiculous, but... Boy, did he just climb, climb, climb. Because we're at 40,000 feet. Alright, so let's swing her around. Alright, let's see who's all left. Two enemy MiG-21s. Okay, just 3 MiG-21s it looks like. And they're drawing us ever higher. Yeah. Kind of figured that might happen. Well, they have even less fuel than us, so... I think they might have a higher service ceiling than us. Because we are really struggling. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can only go up to 52,000. Alright. Everyone bug out. I think if nothing else, we will be able to we should be able to force them to run out of fuel. Because they have to be maintaining high speeds to maintain flight at those altitudes. Yeah, you can see he's going at probably around Mach 1. And the MiG-21 has even less fuel than we do, I think. So we should be in a good position to just basically let them bleed out. Alright, let's see here. Oh, that's not what I want. That's not what I want at all. There we go. Okay, so here's our objective. Let's see. Oh, we have a couple of objectives. The radar we can use our cannon to destroy, but these we're going to have to use bombs to destroy those. Right, we still have 5,000 pounds of fuel left, so I'm not too worried for our sake. Alright, let's level out here a little bit. You can see we were doing about Mach 1 in the dive. So. Alright, let's dive in to attack. Phew. That should just about take care of... Yep. Looks like there's a radar facility there that we'll have to gun down, but that's no big deal. Taking out the command bunkers will remove their ability to coordinate any surviving radar stations, so got some tents there. Oh, what else do they got there? Okay, just some vehicles for point defense. Whee! Alright. We'll make one more pass at the radar. We gotta hold our cannon, because we do, I think we have, what, 200 rounds of cannon? We already used some of that up on the MiG-21 there. So we should, there we go. Now we just gotta wait for the game to come back there. There we go. Alright, so on to the next target. Which I have to find. Probably this way, right? Oh, lay off the afterburner there. Alright, we have... Is it just the radar? I know there's another. There were 2 CNC bunkers. This guy's next to one. So I guess we will head that way for now. Oh, there's a lot of bunkers there. Bunker, CNC. These are some shelters, which I'm not too worried about. Alright, we'll climb up so we can do a dive bomb attack again. Let's push over. And whew. Alright, we got 200 rounds left. Not too worried about their anti-aircraft fire. There we go, that takes out that command and control node. So now all that should be left is to gun down the radar. So we'll do that. I am noticing there is a reduced amount of aircraft on my radar, so I'm assuming everyone's crashing due to excessive fuel consumption. I didn't think my wingman would be crazy enough to try to... Like, I tried to maintain altitude with them until I saw it couldn't be done. And then I gave up. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, they hit me a little bit. Oh. Oh. Alright. Oh, stop it. I'm getting out of here. Oh. Okay. I'll have to use our afterburner for this. And we gotta do one more pass. There we go. I think it's just BMP, so it's just heavy machine gun fire. More accurate than it should be, but not especially damaging. Alright. Let's wait. Yeah. At a certain point, it just doesn't render hitboxes. Alright. No. 35% damage. Oh, okay. We should be out of range now. Alright, so what's left? My question. We have Wingman 3. Can we go out the 50? We can go out the 50 miles. We have a MiG-21 to the north who's on final approach. And it looks like he's gonna frickin' make it too. He might be our last objective. And we should be able to, I'm going to just do a quick sweep here. I think this is where we were just at. Okay, so that was a ZSU-27. Alright, that explains that. We could call it a day, but I'm feeling lucky even though I shouldn't. Let's see here. Alright. Well, I guess we are going to head north. Nearest air... Oh! Radar. One final objective. Is that going to be... If it's just a radar, we can take it. Because we do not have... I think it is just a radar. It's not another CNC node. So we will come in low and slow here. Oh, damn it. I wanted to do it in one pass. I think what we could do as well is I don't know if it's in quick missions, but in single missions I know sometimes your aircraft will just get reloaded and refueled free of charge at the airfield as soon as you touch down. So that could be an approach we take. Alright, there we go. So I think all that's left is to go north and track down that lone Iraqi MiG, or Syrian MiG, that got past us. Actually, would he even go that far north? He might have just gone to the runway. Where is it? Yeah, 38 miles now. Yep, this is where he went, and it looks like it's just the one. So, in the meantime, while we work our way there, since we've got some time, 10-degree climb should do. The Israeli Aircraft Industries Kfir, a project that would ultimately give birth to the Kfir, can be traced back to Israel's need for adapting the Assault Mirage 3C to the specific requirements of the Israeli Air Force. The all-weather delta-winged Mirage 3 CJ was the first Mach 2 aircraft acquired by Israel from their then close ally France, and constituted the backbone of the Israeli Air Force during most of the 1960s, until the arrival of the Douglas A-4 Skyhawk, and most importantly the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II by the end of the decade. While the Mirage 3 CJ proved to be an extremely effective in the air superiority role, its relatively short range of action imposed some limitations on its usefulness as a ground attack aircraft. Thus, in the mid-1960s, at the request of Israel, Assault Aviation began developing the Mirage 5, a fair-weather ground attack version of the Mirage 3. Following the suggestions made by the Israelis, advanced avionics located behind the cockpit were removed, allowing the aircraft to increase its fuel carrying capacity while reducing maintenance costs. In 1968, the Sultan finished production of the 50 Mirage 5Js paid for by Israel, but an arms embargo imposed upon Israel by the French government in 1967 prevented deliveries from taking place. The Israelis replied by producing an unlicensed copy of the Mirage 5 in Nesher, with technical specifications for both the airframe and the engine obtained by Israeli spies. The Kfir program originated in the quest to develop a more capable version of the IAI Nesher, which was already in series production. After General de Gaulle embargoed the sale of arms to Israel, the IAF feared that it might lose qualitative superiority over its adversaries in the future, which were receiving increasingly advanced Soviet aircraft. The main and most advanced type of aircraft available to the IAF was the Mirage, but a severe problem developed due to the Mirage fleet's depletion due to attrition after the Six-Day War. Domestic production would avoid the problem of the embargo completely. Efforts to reverse engineer and reproduce components of the Mirage were aided by Israeli espionage efforts to obtain technical assistance and blueprints from third-party Mirage operators. Two power plants were initially selected for trials, the General Electric J-79 turbojet and the Rolls-Royce Spey turbofan. In the end, the J-79 was selected, not least because it was the same engine used on the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II, which the Israelis began to acquire from the United States in 1969, along with a license to produce the J-79 themselves. The J-79 was clearly superior to the original French Atar 09, providing a dry thrust of 49 kilonewtons, or 11,000 pounds force, and an afterburning thrust of 83.4 kilonewtons, or 18,750 pounds force. In order to accommodate the new power plant on the Mirage 3's airframe and to deliver the added cooling required by the J-79, the aircraft's rear fuselage was slightly shortened and widened. Its air intakes were enlarged, and a large air inlet was installed at the base of the vertical stabilizer, so as to supply the extra cooling needed for the afterburner. The engine itself was encased in a titanium heat shield. And I think we can level out here. We've got enough for a decent glide range here. There we go. And just shut our engine down completely for a little bit at least. There we go. That seems to be maintaining speed on our way down. A two-seat Mirage 3 BJ, fitted with the G-79, made its first flight in September 1970, and was soon followed by a re-engined Nesher, which flew in September of 1971. An improved prototype of the aircraft with the name Ram-B, Ram meaning thunder, and the Ram-A being the Nesher, made its first flight in June of 1973. It had an extensively revised cockpit, a strengthened landing gear, and a considerable amounts of Israeli-built avionics. The internal fuel tanks were slightly rearranged, their total capacity being increased to 713 US gallons or 2,700 liters. There were unconfirmed reports that a number of the original Mirage 3Cs, re-engined with the J-79 and given the name Barak, or Lightning, took part in the Yom Kippur War of 1973, but some sources point out that there is no evidence that these aircraft ever existed. And I am going to focus entirely on my Is he still taxiing, or did he just decide to park in the taxi? Oh, you know what? He probably ran out of fuel on the ground. That's kind of funny, actually. Beep, beep, beep. That is not mission accomplished, which I was really hoping here. I don't see... Unless they diverted to another airfield, I don't know where any other MiGs would be. We can turn north and check. I don't think they would have diverted that far north. Though certainly they would never have reached it, not with their fuel reserves. Yeah, so I think we're safe on that front. So there must be a ground target that we missed, maybe? Which kind of sucks, but considering we had to go solo, I'm not going to be that upset. Alright. So we can return south. I'm actually amazed with how efficiently we've been able to do this work. Actually, we could see... Oh, most of our crew made it back, too. I think they all survived. That's kind of impressive, actually. There we go. Well, we'll land. We'll see if we can refuel and rearm. If we can, we'll go up again and try to find the enemy targets, but I don't know if we will. The Kfir entered service with the IAF in 1975, the first units being assigned to the 101st Fighter Squadron. Over the following years, several other squadrons were also equipped with new aircraft. The role of the Kfir as the IAF's primary air superiority asset was short-lived, as the first F-15 Eagle fighters from the United States were delivered to Israel in 1976. The Kfir's first recorded combat action took place on November 9, 1977, during an Israeli airstrike on a training camp at Tel Azia in Lebanon. The only air victory claimed by a Kfir during its service with the IAF occurred on June 27, 1979, when a Kfir C-2 shot down a Syrian MiG-21. By the time of the Israeli invasion of South Lebanon in 1982 as part of Operation Peace for Galilee, the IAF was able to use both its F-15s and F-16s for air superiority roles, leaving the Kfirs to carry out unescorted strike missions. Shortly afterwards, all IAF C-2s began to be upgraded to the C-7 version, with enhanced weight performance, making the Kfir more suitable to its new fighter-bomber role. During the second half of the 1990s, the Kfirs were withdrawn from active duty in the IAF after almost 20 years of continuous service. Israel Aerospace... Oh, sorry, my bad. It's Israel Aerospace Industries, not Israeli Aircraft Industries. Shame on me. Israel Aerospace Industries announced in August 2013 it will offer pre-owned Kfir fighter jets to foreign customers with a 40-year guarantee. Unit price is reported to be $20 million. A few Eastern European and Latin American countries have expressed interest. Israel's Globe's Business Daily reported. By October 2013, Israel I cannot speak today. I apologize. By October 2013, it's gonna be one of those days. Okay. Well, let's start diving in. I don't think we have to worry about fuel. We're surprisingly fuel efficient, but yeah, that should be about good. By October 2013, Israel Aerospace Industries was in very advanced negotiations with at least two air forces interested in the Kfir Block 60. An aircraft can be delivered within 1 year, with two squadrons to be sold in 2 or 3 years. Block 60 is offered with the ELTA EL/M 2032 with open architecture avionics to allow a customer to install other systems. The sensor provides an all-aspect look-down, shoot-down performance in air-to-air and air-to-ground missions with the capability to simultaneously track up to 64 targets. The J-79 has been overhauled to 0 flight hours and would need replacement after 1,600 flight hours. Since the J79 turbojet engine is a U.S. design, although manufactured under license in Israel, all export sales of the Kfir are subject to prior approval being granted by the U.S. State Department, a fact that has limited the sale of the Kfir to foreign nations. As of 2006, the IAI Kfir has been exported to Colombia, Ecuador, and Sri Lanka. Honestly, if it was that big of a sales impediment, you'd think they'd just re-engine it with something that didn't have export restrictions, although I suppose short of developing their own engine, they might have problems finding an engine that can deliver the same performance per price point. As a result of a trade agreement between Colombia and Israel in 1989, the Colombian government bought a batch of 12 ex-IAF Kfir C2s and one TC2, which was delivered to the Colombian Air Force in 1989 and 1990. Since then, all the C2s have been upgraded to the C7 variant. And we are coming in real hot here. So let's try to... Oh, that's right. Some of the more advanced fighters actually just show you the dots of where you need to be. The FAC, or Colombian Air Force, Kfirs have been widely used in ground attack missions during counterinsurgency operations against Colombian terrorists. Colombian Kfirs are armed with Python 3 IR homing air-to-air missiles, and as of 2004, 2 aircraft have been lost in accidents. Alright, brakes on. I think we gotta brake a little more still.
Wind at 7 knots.
There we go. More braking, more braking. We are still coming in way too hot. There we go. Nope. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I guess I got so used to landing shitty aircraft. Like the F-104 and F-105. Okay, can I... No, at 22% throttle with the brakes engaged, we still gain altitude. Holy shit. I will say, when unloaded, excellent flight characteristics. There we go. Nope. Did we touch down? No.
Welcome back.
Now we did. Alright. Wow. I came in so hot and heavy because that's what I've had to do the last couple of missions, but you didn't need to do that at all. And it makes sense. I mean, you look at how much wing area that has, especially compared to stuff like the F-105 or the... Alright, we do not get a free reload, unfortunately. That must be a simulation setting somewhere. But I guess we'll just take the L on this, even though we should have met most of our objectives. I'm curious as to what we missed. My gut says a ground target, but who knows? Maybe the AI did fly to a more northerly airbase, and I'm going the wrong way. Whee! Alright. In February 2008, Colombia signed a deal with the Israeli government for an additional 24 ex-IAF Kfir aircraft. It was estimated that these aircraft will most probably be upgraded by Israel Aerospace Industries to the C-10 standard. In June of 2009, IAI delivered the first batch of upgraded Kfirs to the Colombian Air Force in a ceremony held at IAI's facilities in Israel. In attendance at the ceremony was Juan Hurtado Cano, the Colombian ambassador to Israel, high-ranking officers from the Colombian Air Force, and executives from the International Defense Cooperation Directorate of the Israeli Ministry of Defense. This was part of a multi-year contract awarded in 2007 worth over $150 million to upgrade the existing Colombian Air Force Kfirs and to supply additional jets. The additional Kfir jets, models C-10 through C-12, have been upgraded and improved to include IAI's latest technologies and products. Our Oh, we are slowing down, so let's... There we go. That should be enough to get us moving again. On July 20th, 2009, a Kfir crashed near the city of Cartagena. The Israeli pilots operating the plane were unharmed in the incident, but the jet itself was destroyed. Israel Aerospace Industries said in a statement that the plane was flying a refresher flight and that the aircraft didn't come to a stop on the landing strip, landing outside of it. The director of the Israel Aerospace Industries announced that an investigation into the incident had already begun and that a panel to probe the crash had been appointed. On July 22, 2009, Israel Aerospace Industries informed the Colombian Air Force that the accident was caused by an unspecified human error. As a result, Israel Aerospace Industries will replace the unit lost with another one and will resume delivery to the Colombian Air Force. On November 1st, 2013, two Colombian Air Force IAI Kfirs intercepted Russian Air Force Tu-160s that had entered Colombian airspace. The Russian aircraft had taken off from Simon Bolivar International Airport in Venezuela. On October 10, 2017, Colombian IAI Kfirs were updated with the ELM 2052 ASA radar and incorporated the IDERBY-ER active air-to-air missile and the Python 5 air-to-air infrared missile. Okay, all of our aircraft are in the next tarmac zone. Got it. There we go. So we'll just keep on thrusting through. As of 2019, 23 Colombian IAI Kfirs remain in service. In 1981, Ecuador and Israel signed a sales agreement for 10 refurbished and new ex-IAF Kfir C-2s and 2 TC-2s, which were delivered to the Ecuadorian Air Force, or the FAE, in 1982 to 1983. The Kfirs formed the 2,113... What? Should be a TH, but the 2,113th Squadron Lions of the FAE's 21st Fighter Wing, based at Tora Air Force Base on the Ecuadorian Western Lowlands. The FAE Kfirs went into action during the 1995 Cenepa War between Ecuador and Peru. Relying on its fleet of subsonic 837Bs for low-level ground attack missions on Peruvian positions, the Ecuadorian Air Force held back its Mirage F-1s and Kfir C-2s for use as escorts and interceptors. On February 10, 1995, a Kfir C-2 shot down a Peruvian Air Force Cessna 837B with a shaft rear to IR homing missile. In 1996, with tensions still running high between Ecuador and Peru, the Ecuadorians acquired 4 additional Kfirs, 3 C-2 and 1 TC-2, after securing approval from the U.S. State Department, which I'm sure Peru was thrilled with. In 1998, with its aging squadron of Sepakat Jaguar fighter bombers about to be withdrawn from active duty, Ecuador began talks with Israel for the sale of a new batch of 8 Kfirs. And we've got to park now. Where should we park? You know what? We'll park next to these guys. And we should be able to get it to line up pretty well, actually. The spacing's a little off, but... Oh. Come on. Come on. Woo. Ah. Damn it. There we go. Yeah, a little off, but there we go. We got a nice lineup there. Let's see. During an escalation of the arms race in South America, as Peru had recently acquired 18 MiG-29s and 18 Su-25s from Belarus, the United States blocked the deal. As an alternative, Ecuador and Israel signed an agreement in 1999 for the delivery of 2 Kfir C-10s and for the conversion of an undisclosed number of the FAE's original C-2s to the C-10 version, referred to in Ecuador as the Kfir CE, featuring a helmet-mounted display system and armed with Python 3 and Python 4 IR homing air-to-air missiles. By 2005, Ecuador had lost 4 Kfirs, including 1 TC-2, due to accidents since the aircraft entered service in 1982. The Sri Lankan Air Force acquired 6 Kfir C-2s and a single TC-2 in 1995 through 1996. A further 9 aircraft had been added to the inventory by 2005, including 4 C-2s and 4 C-7s acquired in 2000. Currently, the Sri Lankan Air Force operates 2 TC-2s, 2 C-7s, and 6 C-2s by the No. 10 Fighter Squadron. The SLAF used their Kfirs to carry out attacks against the LTTE rebels during the Sri Lankan Civil War in Sri Lanka. LTTE, that's the something Tamil Tigers, I think? Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Alright, the only reason I know those is because of the first campaign mission in Fleet Command, where you've basically got to fight your way through the Indian Navy, sink an Indian amphibious operation that's supposed to attack Sri Lanka, and evacuate the U.S. Embassy staff from Sri Lanka. Anyways. 2 Kfir C-7s were destroyed on the ground in an LTTE attack on ESLAF Katunayake Air Base, part of the Bandaranaike International Airport, on the 24th of July 2001. 3 others were lost in non-combat related accidents during the Civil War period. None were lost in aerial combat. In March of 2011, 2 Kfirs collided in midair doing an air show practice sortie. On June 30th, 2021, it was announced that the IAI will upgrade the 5 Sri Lankan Kfirs for a return to service with new systems and sensors under a $50 million contract. Between 1985 and 1989, the United States Navy and United States Marine Corps leased 25 examples of the Kfir C-1, which were officially designated F-21A and modified for use as unarmed adversaries, mock opponents in dissimilar air combat training. These aircraft had narrow-span cantered foreplanes and 2 small rectangular strakes, one on either side of the nose, which considerably improved the aircraft's maneuverability and handling at low speeds. The 12 F-21 aircraft leased to the U.S. Navy, painted in a 3-tone blue-gray ghost scheme, were operated by Fighter Squadron 43, based at NAS Oceana, Virginia. In 1988, they were returned and replaced by the F-16N. 13 aircraft leased to the United States Marine Corps were operated by Marine Fighter Training Squadron 401, a 4th Marine Aircraft Wing Marine Corps Reserve Squadron at Marine Corps Air Station Yuma, Arizona. In addition to the blue-gray painted aircraft, the USMC also had some F-21s painted in Israeli colors and Desert Flogger schemes, named because they were to represent the schemes often worn by Warsaw Pact MiG-23 floggers. The Kfir was utilized because they both shared the common characteristics of being a very fast Mach 2 Plus aircraft with fast acceleration with relatively poor maneuverability. MiG-23 was targeted as the enemy aircraft because at this time the MiG-23 was being introduced in very large numbers and was a very capable aircraft compared to earlier Soviet types. 3 USMC F-21 aircraft were replaced by F-5E aircraft when the F-21s were returned in 1989, although this left the training units without any aircraft capable of accurately simulating the Mach 2 Plus and fast accelerating MiG-23s. 6 Kfirs are also used by the U.S. firm Airborne Tactical Advantage Company, a civilian defense contractor that provides tactical adversary aircraft services to the U.S. military. Airborne Tactical Advantage Company, or ATAC, provides airborne tactical training, threat simulation, and research and development. ATAC's corporate headquarters and primary operating location is the Patrick Henry International Airport at Newport News, Virginia, with additional permanent operating locations at U.S. Naval Air Stations and Marine Corps Air Stations in California, Nevada, Hawaii, and Japan. ATAC also operates Hawker Hunter F-58s. On March 6, 2012, an ATAC Kfir FAA registration N404AX crashed while landing at NAS Fallon, Nevada, after a flight supporting the Naval Strike and Air Warfare Center. The pilot, retired USN Captain Carol Lex Lafon, was fatally injured. In the early 1990s, IAI was looking to export 40 Kfir C fighters to the Republic of China, or Taiwan, in a deal estimated to have been worth $400 million to $1 billion. However, the deal ultimately fell through. During 2013, the Argentine Air Force commenced negotiations with Israel for 18 Kfir Block 60 fighters as an alternative to another deal for 16 ex-Spanish Mirage F-1 fighters. During mid-2014, industry sources claim IAI will soon receive an order from the Argentine Air Force for Kfir Block 60s after their purchase of surplus Spanish Mirage F-1s failed. However, I don't think that ever went through. In fact, I think they might not have much of Air Force left anymore, because I think they were forced to retire the bulk of the Skyhawks that survived the Falkland War. Let's see, aircraft. Yeah, they're without their their older Israeli aircraft because they had not the Kiefer, or they weren't Israeli. Well, maybe they were Israeli, I forget, but they had, I think, some Mirage 3s along with the what you would call it, the ground attack, or not the ground attack, but like the attack aircraft, and the assault superintendent. That's the one. Um, those, it looks like those have both been retired, so all they have left are upgraded A4s and IA-63s, which are great trainers. So yeah, the Argentine Air Force is not in a good place. I remember there was talk they were going to buy the that cheap Chinese export fighter, but I guess that fell through too. So the main variants of the Kfir include the Kfir C1, which is the basic production variant, and the F-21A Kfir was basically some 25 upgraded Kfir C1s that, as we just discussed, were released USN and USMC, and they were designated F-21A Lion. I knew about the lease. I didn't know we gave them an actual designation. So if you were ever wondering where the missing F-21 was, because you got the F-20 Tiger Shark and the F-22 Raptor, well, there it is. Your F-21 Lion. The Kfir C2 was an improved C1 that features many aerodynamic improvements, with changes including dog-toothed leading edges on the wings, small straights under the nose, and a larger sweep angle of the canards. The Kfir TC2 is a two-seat trading variant developed from the C2 with a longer and lowered nose to improve the pilot's view. Kfir RC2 is a reconnaissance variant of the C2, commonly known as the Kfir Znuliat, due to the Znuliat camera nose being fitted to it. I probably butchered that saying, TZNIUT. I have no idea how to pronounce that. The next major variant is Kfir C7, which was vastly modified. Most, if not all, C2 aircraft were modified to the C7 variant, which included an improved J79GE J1E engine that provided an additional 1,000 pounds force, or 4.4 kilonewtons of thrust at full afterburner, and as a result increasing the maximum takeoff weight by 3,395 pounds. Two more hardpoints under the air intakes, better avionics such as multifunction displays, and a HOTAS configured cockpit were also included. The Kfir TC7 is a two-seat trading version developed from the C7. The C9 was a proposal for Argentina powered by the ATAR 9K50. This was cancelled and later developed as South Africa's Atlas Cheetah. Oh, that's interesting. So, okay, so they did do my suggestion, using the French engine to bypass American export restrictions. Kfir C10 was a variant developed especially for export. The most important change is the adoption of the Alta ELM 2032 radar. Other changes include helmet-mounted display capability and 227mm by 177mm multifunction displays. Variant is known as the Kfir CE, or Ecuadorian version, or the Kfir COA, or Kfir Colombian version. The Kfir TC-10 is an upgraded version of the TC-7 for the Colombian Air Force, while the C-12 is an upgraded version for the Colombian Air Force, which is basically a C-10 without the Alta ELM 2032 radar. The Kfir Block 60 is an upgraded version of the C-10. The main feature of this variant is the use of ASA radar, proposed to the Bulgarian Air Force and the Colombian Air Force. As of January 2014, Argentina is reported to be interested in the deal, yada yada. We already know Argentina didn't go through on that. And currently, there is a current offer for the Kfir Next Generation, the Kfir NG, which is being offered to current and former operators in Colombia, Ecuador, and Sri Lanka, and it was first revealed at the Paris Air Show in 2019. Those previously mentioned, the main operators, currently the only operators, are ATAC, Sri Lanka, and Colombia. Ecuador did operate them, though, as did Israel and the United States Navy and Marine Corps for a short period of time. So with that, the specifications include a crew of 1, a length of 15.65 meters, a wingspan of 8.22 meters, a height of 4.55 meters, 34.8 meters squared of wing area, so compare that to, I don't know if I read wing area in the other ones, but compare that to the F-104 or F-105. An empty weight of 16,061 pounds, gross weight of 25,580 pounds, and a max takeoff weight of 35,715 pounds. Power plant is one IAI Bedeck-built General Electric J79 J1E turbojet with 52.9 kilonewtons thrust dry or 79.62 kilonewtons thrust with afterburner. Maximum speed is 2,440 kilometers per hour above 11,000 meters or Mach 2.3. Combat range is 768 kilometers for a ground attack high-low high profile with 7 500-pound bombs, 2 air-to-air missiles, 2 340 US gallon drop tanks, which, God, I wish we could have had that type of armament. Well, you know what we did? We had 6 500-pound bombs, 2 air-to-air missiles, 1 drop tank, and 1 electronic warfare pod that we couldn't get rid of. Armament includes 2 Raphael-built 30mm depth of 553 cannons with 140 rounds per gun. It can carry an assortment of unguided air-to-air rockets, including the Matra JL-100 drop tank rocket pack, each with 19 SNED 68mm rockets and 66 US gallons of fuel. Oh, that's interesting. It's got to be a bit dangerous combining weapons and fuel like that, but I'm sure they've worked that a little bit out. It can take 2 M9 Sidewinders or Sapphire or Python series air-to-air missiles. It can also include up to 12,732 pounds of payload and 9 external hardpoints for things such as bombs of the Mark 80 series, Payway series of laser-guided bombs, Griffin laser-guided bombs, SMKBs, TAL-1 or TAL-2, CBUs, BLU-107 Matra Durandal, reconnaissance pods, or drop tanks. And with that, that concludes the overview of the IAI Kfir. So let's go to debriefing and find out what target we missed. Yeah, I failed because I didn't do everything. We missed 1 target. We're not going to be able to figure it out because I don't know how many the mission defaults to for the ground stations. But I didn't see. I would think it's a CNC bunker, but I didn't see one near that last radar we hit. It was just a shelter. That wasn't an objective. Well, let's see. We can map this out too. We had 8 fighters. Yeah. So that would be 6 ground targets. So there was probably another radar or CNC bunker out there. If it was the bunker, we wouldn't have had the ordnance to take it out anyways because we sent all our wingmen back to base. But we were alive. We took 43% damage. Wingman 1 took 13% damage. He did jack shit apparently. But we have 3 fighters to our name, which I believe includes 1 MiG-23 and 2 MiG-21s. Looks like in our bomb runs, we have 2 armored vehicles destroyed, 2 trucks destroyed, 5 structures, which, I mean, that can include a tent. Well, okay, so it's going to be 2 CNC bunkers and 3 radars. Yeah, okay, so no tents. Maybe in the other, but I know there was a squad of soldiers part of that other. Otherwise, we had a 50% success rate on our air-to-air missiles, 59% gun hit rate, so that's really good, but we're mostly strafing ground targets, 100% bomb hit rate. Our wingman fired both his missiles and his gun and didn't hit anything. As far as launches on us, we spoofed the one air-to-air missile that was launched at us and the two SAM missiles. Looks like there were two SAM launches on Wingman 1. He failed. One just didn't operate correctly, the other was spoofed. So one of the MiGs did try to shoot at us, but they missed. They did hit our Wingman a little bit, and then we took some damage from AAA, which of the volume of fire they directed at us, only 6% of it hit. So, there you go. There's the IAI Kfir in a nutshell. So, I hope you all have a happy holiday week, and till then, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.